Hi guys, welcome back. It's Lawlor's Law. This is your raw, unfiltered Birmingham City podcast where we got a draw. We didn't lose on the opening day, so we'll take that, but we'll go into that in a little bit. But let's go in who we've got this week. So first of all, Max, how are we getting on, bud?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Sound? All good. Back at work this week after 2 weeks of annual leave, and I'm already tired. So standard. And obviously the return, the man himself, Mr. Jelly Roll Jordan Pink. How are we doing?
Thank you. Oh, no, I'm all right, mate. I've had a bit of issues away from the camera, but I'm back with a bang, ready to go.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Yeah. And before anyone asks, no, he was not in prison. He's okay. But yeah, let's get right into it. Chef Max, we'll throw this one to you, Max, about Sheffield United away, because you drove, you did the whole thing for the day, so off you go.
Yeah, we drove all the way there. The traffic was shit, as it always is up that M6. It was a good day. It was really, really good to be back. Back with all those away fans, those crazy bastards. We love them to bits. I don't go too much away because I can't, and I'm not kind of high up in that scheme of the platinums and the golds. I wish I was, but I just can't get away from work to go enough. But all those that go up and down the country every week for 9 months, we salute you all. It was great to see some familiar faces. I saw a few. Had a chat. Saw Will Brazier trying to buy a couple of pints. He almost dropped them, so that was funny. But yeah, it was really good. Sheffield United is an away end that I don't particularly like. It's quite cramped. It's very hot, stuffy. There's only one bar almost. It's like there's one bar all the way at the other end and one bar at this end. So it's not very well laid out, and the stewards are always wankers. So I just will throw that out there because I just don't get it, because you get through the turnstile with your ticket and then you go and sit down. You come back out, and then they just started asking to check everyone's tickets again. And they weren't doing it because people might jump on and say, well, they're checking you sat in the right seat. Bollocks. They weren't checking. They just wanted to see a piece of paper with it on and then let you back into the stand. So, I mean, how the hell did we get in there in the first place? Like, what are you checking for? So that pissed me off. So Mad Max was back within about 2 minutes. So that was great to see. But then we get to the football. I said last week that you need to go and set the tone for the season and go and get a result away from home. It needs to be positive. And I think in the main, and I don't know how many people will agree or disagree, but I think it was a good, solid point to start the season. You never want to lose the first game. Last year we got a point at home against Ipswich and we were disappointed because we wanted to win and we're at home. This year it's a little bit different. We are away. It's always a difficult place to go up there to Sheffield. But I think I agree with Chris Davis that if any team was going to win it, and I think those that watched along on Sky could probably agree that we were the better team. I was massively underwhelmed by Sheffield United. I thought they were very, very poor. I don't know if you boys watched it along, did you?
Yeah.
Watched along, yeah. I thought they were shit. I did. I thought they created very little. Now, what I will give them is that I said last week as well. They'll probably come out the traps for the first 5 or 10 minutes, being that first game of the season, and it's kind of everyone's mood is up there. The vibes are good, and the players are going to come out and try and show the fans and get the fans uplifted and get them singing. First 5 minutes, 7 minutes, Sheffield United were okay. They kind of like tried to bombard our box a little bit, chucked a few balls in, got the crowd up a little bit. And then we didn't concede, which is positive because we were conceding so early last year away from home. We were very strong in them first 5-10 minutes, and we just held it out. And then we found our feet, I think, and we settled into the game quite well. And after those first 5 or 10 minutes, I don't think Sheffield United offered much at all, apart from the one chance that I'll obviously get onto in a bit, which is to do with Beadle's fantastic saving ability, which we have to throw out there to Jord, because he's starting to show some good signs out there. But yeah, it settled down, and I think what I said after the game was that it was the biggest takeaway for me was how defensively solid we were. It was incredible. It was really good, really, really good. So much better than that kind of matchstick defending that we saw last year away from home. Neumann and Clara, there's nothing barely got past them. They were heading every single thing away, similar to what they did at Swansea, but every ball that came over, Sheffield United didn't stand a chance. And every time they tried to play Sheffield United, the balls were just kind of going over and either rolling to Beadle or rolling out for a goal kick and just being seen out by Bright or by Alex Cochrane. But yeah, the whole back four, and I have to give them their dues, were excellent. Absolutely excellent. Say a back five, really, because Beadle was great too. I think that Beadle's kick-in was so much better. I was behind Beadle in the second half. And my God, the kicks were like straight into the middle of the pitch. They were accurate. They were fantastic. I don't know. He's obviously been practicing, and we know that from kind of Mike Taylor helping him and Allsop helping him as well in training. But it was so much improved, and his dominance. He looks like he's bulked out a little bit as well. He's got a bit of something on him. He looked like a right stick last year, didn't he? So thin and tall, but this year he seems to have a bit about him. You can hear him as well. You can hear him kind of shouting his defence. And yeah, I just thought the whole back four, back five were fantastic. Alex Cochrane, I have criticised him about how he can go against one-on-ones. Now, he didn't really have to do too much of that because Sheffield United didn't really attack in that kind of way. They weren't dominant on the wings. They rarely got onto the wings. You know, Donovan was a bit disappointing. Sariki was very disappointing. He's a better player than that. And Callum O'Hare's just a little rat who did as much as he could, but you know, he was trying to push them forward, but they just couldn't get past our defence. They were just too solid, and that is the biggest takeaway for me. Is yes, another clean sheet after Swansea, and we didn't score. No, were we the better team with the better chances? Probably. Yeah, I think the game plan was pretty clear. That once we settled into the game, you could see the idea was to turn over, kind of restrict their play, turn over the ball, get it wide, get it really wide, get it to Vicente, balls over the top, balls through, and then get the crosses in. This is where it comes again into the J conversation, because Stansfield was playing on the left again, and you can just tell he's not a winger, is he, lads? Like he's not a winger, and he doesn't want to cross it. Firstly, with his left foot or his right, he's got a little bit of speed to him, but he's just not got that nous of being a winger. So I think we're a bit kind of, I say playing with 10 men, I feel that's harsh, but he runs himself ragged in terms of trying to close down and turn over possession. But when he's got the ball on the left, he doesn't know what to do as much as, say, a Dimmy or a Patrick Roberts, who has just been left out in the dark. So yeah, I worry a bit about that. But yeah, the idea was to get it wide and cross balls in, and that's all we did all game, really. You boys watched, and it was constantly flying balls in from the left, flying balls in from the right, and we just couldn't get our end onto one of them to put it in. It was very close at times. Pake's glanced header in front of me in the first half. Second half, Pake took one off of Prisk's head. I think that pissed me off. I mean, Pake playing in the 10, regardless, is infuriating me. So as much as I love the defensive performance on Saturday, we were a bit lacklustre going forward again. We were struggling again, obviously, to score a goal. But you're not going to score many goals when you've got Paik Sung-ho playing in the 10, because he refuses to put anybody else in there. I put my nan in there at the moment because it's just fucking me off. I just do not understand what this whole obsession is around it. You know, the undroppables, say it every week. He'll shoehorn him in there somewhere. So I don't know what to say about it. Will he keep persisting with him playing there? I don't want him to. Everybody watching this, I can't believe they can disagree that they'd want Paik in that 10. Now, I'm not saying Paik's not a good footballer. I'm not saying that he can't pass a good ball. He's got a good pivot. He's got a good vision. But he's not a forward-thinking, running at the defence, number 10, side-splitting passes. He's not. I just don't agree with that. I just don't think he's got enough creativity. He's very measured and very controlled and very assured when he plays football. And he's kind of that man you want in there to calm things down and just do a little spin, pass it off to the right, do a little spin, pass it off to the left. Almost more like a number 8 or a number 6, I think, maybe, potentially, but not the 10. 10, it has to be creative. It has to be, let's bomb forward. So we've said it every week for, a year or more about Paik playing in a 10 role. It doesn't work. And I really want to see that change. But yeah, so I need to give props to another man as well, and he's from Colombia, and he'll fucking murder you. And Jude Bellingham needs to keep an eye out because he's coming for his spot at Madrid. John Solis was outstanding. He made a couple of mistakes, but in the main, that man in that midfield is so calm and he knows what he's doing. And he's strong, and we missed that strength last year, didn't we? Before he came in. And he's got so much power and he's got that calmness for a big bloke. He's got that real calmness, and he can pick a pass and just trickle it past that midfielder or that defender just to calm things down and spread it and switch the play. And that's what I love about him. So, and he does try and get forward as well at times. So I just love him. I think he's great, and I think he's going to get better and better and better as long as the season goes on. He is fantastic. Prisk. He put himself around quite a lot, but he just didn't get the rub of the green, as you'd probably say. He didn't fall to him in the right way. He put himself in the right areas. He had a half chance in the first half where he kind of headed the player instead of the ball, and it was given as a fucking stupid foul, which I'll get onto later. But overall, I have rambled on for quite a bit, but overall, I thought it was a really, really positive performance in kind of contrast to last year's away performances. All we need to do now is turn those into 1-0 wins or 2-0 wins away, and we'll be absolutely on our way. So, yeah, I think one of the other negatives is maybe I think the subs were probably about 10 minutes too late. I don't know if you boys agree with that, but I think the subs were probably about 10 minutes too late. So, but the positive is when Callum O'Hare got fucking knocked the fuck out by a football right in his big fucking nose. I loved it so much. I'm happy but angry at the same time because I love seeing it, and everybody. And the thing is, with him, if it was a different team, he probably would have stayed on the floor and tried to kind of, milk it a little bit. But because it was Blues and we were singing "You Dirty Villa Bastard" to him, he didn't want to give us the satisfaction, so he popped straight up, even if it was stinging his nose. But that was one of my highlights, to see him get knocked out almost by football. So I'm sure you both enjoyed that too. But yeah, that was about it really. I went away from the game quite happy, and just seeing some better signs. Davis talked about playing more direct, wide, and getting the balls in on the counter attack. You were seeing that, Jordan said it to me a couple of weeks ago, and I hadn't really seen it yet, but I am starting to see it now, and I could exactly see it from where I was positioned in that away end. And the passing out the back has just disappeared. So whether that comes back into the home games, which it might do, which is fine because you can build from there at home a little bit differently, because you're meant to have the incentive to go and score. When you're away, well done, Chris Davis, because you've finally adapted to what we need to do to go away to somewhere like that and get a point on the board. It's a strong point, and that point could be pivotal at the end of the season. So never underestimate how important a point away is. So props to him. Props to Brighter Side Samuel. I don't know what they've done with him, but whoever that was on the pitch was an alien in disguise, because that man is one of the best right back performances I've seen for a long time. And I have to swallow and eat some humble pie and swallow my pride a little bit and just say well done to him. So yeah, big well done to him. Big well done to Beadle. The defence cracking. Cochrane, I think Lund actually. I said last week that Lund might get back. It might get into the team soon. The starting 11. I don't know. Cochrane's got his place at the moment. Number one, can he stay fit because he's injury prone? And number two, he wasn't really up against some really quick wingers that were really attacking the whole game. So he didn't really get turned inside out like normal. So we'll see. But yeah, Vicente, as a final mention. There were mixed feelings about him, I think, and there were mixed feelings in my own head about him, because he was getting into some really good positions, and he does like to go forward and try and take that left back and right back on, but his final ball wasn't as good this week, so he needs to maybe work on that a little bit. I was a bit disappointed by that, and yeah, set pieces first half. I don't know if you boys noticed, but a couple of training ground things in there. You could see that Scott Fry's had a big influence. Defending set pieces was fantastic. Beadle, Clara, Neumann, Cochrane all talking to each other about what their role was when defending a cross or defending a free kick. Last year they had no idea what they were doing. This year they're absolutely solid, it looks like. So yeah, we're trying some new things, and I'll pass back over to you boys, but I was, it was a 7 out of 10 performance. I was relatively happy with it.
Yeah. I'll take a little bit here, Jordan, then I'll throw it to you if you don't mind.
Of course, mate. Of course.
I think I agree with most of what you say, Max, to be fair. Bright, I am also eating that pie of the humble variety, and it's tasty. Every time he did something well, I watched it with Josh and Josh's wife, and then Jasmine was with me as well. And every time Bright did something good, I could just feel Jasmine looking at me going, because I've spoke so much shit about this man. It was just like, and then the 93rd minute when they're going down the wing and he pulls off on the best slide tackles I think I've seen from a right back for years. I was like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Salis is an absolute animal. I will advocate and cry about the fact that I think we should have had a penalty in the first half. And I've seen people online saying, no, it ran a penalty, went for the ball. Remember Kane against Mexico? Fucking same thing. Same thing. So, should have had a penalty for me. It's okay. John Solis' passing, by the way, when he put Vincente through one-on-one, what a fucking ball. Like, the way he's just split that defence open first time.
Yeah.
Pake is just shit in a 10. There's no way of sugarcoating it. He's just... There was 2 or 3 times, Max, you would have seen it live, where we're on a counter-attack. It's promising. You got Jay there, Vincente there, Pris there, and he took the fucking wrong option every time. There was one where Jay got his chance for on the left, but then if you look, Vincente's clean on the right. Like, I'm talking, Vincente's got at least 5 yards. Jord, would you say, watch it from TV?
Yeah.
Open. Like...
Yeah, but Vicente had the best chance of the game and he fluffed it because he should have had a shot. He should have had a shot.
Any winger worth their salt just has a dig there. Like, just go for it. Pat Roberts.
Oh, the keeper was on the near post.
Yeah, like, just put it around him. But it's a good away performance. I'm happy with the point away at Chef. Buzzing, Beadle's kicking, and Jord's going to go on to this, I'm sure, in a minute. But there was a moment where it got played back to him and he had no time. It was on his left foot. And I saw him go to kick it, and I thought, oh, fuck, here we go. And you know what? Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. Perfect. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop talking shit about Beadle for a little bit until he makes me angry again. But, yeah, and also Chris Wilder, go fuck yourself. Has everyone seen his Sky interview afterwards saying that they deserve the win and they were the better team? Bell end. Like...
Typical Wilder interview.
Fucking moron. Like, yeah, I thought we were the better team. Yeah, of course. Fuck off. Anyway. Jord, your thoughts before I start going off on one?
Yeah, so going forward, again, agree with everything you've said there, Max. I'd say Solis is kind of that what we wanted Sunich to be when we signed him. Very much feels like Keith Bell that we've been screaming out for years, but just maybe a little bit kind of more athletic, let's say. Iwata is the one that we haven't really picked up the bones out of there, I'd say, out of all of us, who, for me, is looking further and further away from it as the weeks go on. I mean, look, I get it. It's hard for him because last season he was a right back mainly, and then he goes back into CDM sometimes, and sometimes he's with Solis, sometimes he's with Pake. He never knows. The poor lad probably doesn't know much, but... I think we're starting to see the wind down of Iwata, maybe. Yet again, on this podcast, we're very good at eating our words, so I'm ready to eat my words if he shows up next week and puts a rocket in against Bristol City. But yeah, Pake for me in the 10, it's just not a thing, is it? It's not physical enough, not forward thinking enough. The one person that we blame for sideways and backwards mainly all last season. And again, every time we went into a 10, he seemed to break down the attack. The amount of times I've seen either Vicente or Prisk calling for a through ball, and, you know, they're the reasons why the balls weren't getting there, is because Pake likes to hold up and he likes to look up and look for the over-the-top pass or to look to the wings. And he just wasn't doing it. He's not advanced enough. Again, I'm not going to bash on with Davis too much, but everyone knows my feelings with King Kanya. Back on the bench and plays a whole pre-season in the 10. Nothing again. Don't get me wrong, when Max Bird comes on, much improved. I personally think he looked very, very comfortable. I don't know if you boys will kind of get this comparison, but he looks like what we wanted Tommy Doyle to be already.
Yeah.
Gets the ball down straight away looking for a pass, holds off very well. No, my awkward. I've got two awkward conversations to have, and I'm going to leave the best till last. But there's an awkward conversation about Stano having to be had, isn't there? I know you guys have just mentioned it. Then he's not a winger, but his confidence in front of goal is looking woeful. I mean, that chance where he's broke through and he's got the ball and he kind of gets caught under his feet, and I can excuse that. But Stano of the past takes one more drag back touch and puts it bottom corner, and he just kind of stabs at everything now. It looks like he's rushing through everything. I'd say give the lad a game back in the number 9. Don't get me wrong, Prisk hasn't done anything wrong by my standards, but give Stano a game back in the number 9 and let him know that we're all behind him, because out on the left he's wasted. If you're going to persist really with him on the left, why not put Dimmy in the 10 and let them two alternate? Because, I mean, there was a couple of games pre-season, Moore's being one that sticks in my head, where Dimmy played more centrally and looked very good for it. So if that's the case, why not have a kind of free roll 10 where Stano, Vicente and Damari can just cross in and out as much as they like, kind of get in each other's way or out of each other's way, as however you'd like to say it. Another little kind of negative that I'd say was Vicente's touch was non-existent. A few times the ball come down to him and it trampolined off him and went backwards. That shot has got to go in. That I get that we've scored in games with him assisting Prisk like that, but in that moment, and the interview stuck in my head when he did it, and they're talking on Sky and they're saying, "Oh, he should have put that away." The interview's going through my head, and I don't know if you boys have seen it, where he spoke to, I think it was WM. He spoke to earlier in the week, and he said he wants to get 10 goals, 10 assists for the season. That's his aim, because he feels like he's settled. And at that point, I'm like, go and get your first goal instead of your first assist. That's your perfect opportunity. My worry is now going forward. So I think at the start of the end of last season to the start of this season, my worry was coming back into defence, and are we strong enough? And I would say we look so much better in that department, but going forwards worries me now. It's like you're playing a holding midfielder / central midfielder in your 10. You're playing a striker on the left wing. You're playing a right winger and a striker that should be crossing the balls in. But then you've got one of the naturally best crossers of the ball in the club sat on your bench, Damari Gray. Patrick Roberts, who in that Vicente moment gets you a goal, has literally been hidden in a closet somewhere because the lad's obviously done something to be bombed. But yeah, then we'll go backwards, and yeah, again, you boys are right. Sorry, Samuel, bang on. I think that game specifically showed me we can't get rid of Neumann, and he was by way and I'd say head and shoulders above Clara in that game. In terms of, he was the last man on that line. He was very much like letting Clara go and play the free role and go up and get the balls up the pitch a bit more. He sat back, he did his job very well. Cochrane again, yeah, his cross is a pinpoint. He just doesn't win headers, and he worries me with pace. Lund at this point is starting. I think I mentioned this on the Boy in Blues live the other day. Lund at this moment in time is starting to feel like Samstead, because he's very much like, oh, look, here's our new shiny player. Let's do a lot of media with him. But he's not even getting like 5-10 minutes. He's wasted. But now the biggest talking point for me, and you boys have ate your humble pie, here it comes with me. And bravo, fucking James Beadle. What a fucking performance. Norwich and Southampton comes to mind with that game. He was the standout player when he needed to be. Kind of went unnoticed throughout the game because they didn't attack much, but when they did, I mean, the save with Bamford, you see, I can't even be positive about him without chucking a negative in. The save from Bamford made me a bit uncomfortable at first, but the fact that he saved it is great because last season he doesn't. He's kicking, again, as Jamie said, everything just spot on, you know. Anybody who's gonna come up to me and say, like, oh, you're not a Beadle hater now, are you? I've still got the kind of, he's not our player in my head. He is just a loan player. And I know they always say don't fall in love with loan players, they're never coming back, but we know we're not getting Beadle. He's just signed a new contract. That's why in my head I'm kind of like, I'm still adamant on, this sounds bad, not getting behind him. As much as I want him to do well, and I'm glad that he's doing well, it still worries me that he's not our keeper. You know what I mean? If he was staying permanently, I'd be buzzing for the kid. I really would. But it's just a bit of a kick in the teeth knowing that he's probably going to improve and then we're never going to see him again.
Do you reckon it could be one of them situations, though, Jord, where it's in the contract with the loan, like maybe if we go up, we get obligation on him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be a case of like, he's got this contract, so it's obviously going to be more money to sign him than originally probably sorted for. But if Birmingham City get promoted, you get first dibs.
Yeah, that's my only thinking in it is why they've offered him a 4-year contract. Is obviously they see something in him clearly, but have they gone, oh, we'll offer you a 4-year contract, and then if Blues come up, it's going to be like Coventry. They'll want, like Coventry wanted Rushworth that desperately. They were willing to chuck any money at him. And I feel like that's what they think it will be like with Beadle. And I mean, if that's the case, you know, like I said, I'm eating humble pie now and just going to say so be it. You know, he's looking okay. So, you know, we're in steady hands now by the looks of things. Let's just hope there's no fuck ups.
Yeah, Max, you going to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to touch back on a couple of things that Jordan said, because I forgot to mention the Beadle, or didn't go into the Beadle save enough. But yeah, you're right. When he was quite unnoticed throughout the game because he didn't have to do a lot. But when he was called upon, great. So when he was coming for those crosses, great. When he's kind of positioning himself so that when the ball got played through, he was ready to scoop it up, and Neumann was letting him come out and grab that, and they were talking to each other. So that was really good communication between them. I just think Dale Fry has probably come into the club, potentially come into the club thinking he's going to start. That could, I don't know, it's obviously not in his contract because he hasn't started, but he might have a certain amount of games that he's expecting himself to play. But when you look at that, you don't want to bring anybody else in. The only thing I can think with Dale Fry is that you utilise him in the right way. So watching Cardiff and Wrexham last night, when we play Wrexham, get fucking Dale Fry on Kiefer Moore and do not leave his side. Do not leave his side because they're both very tall and he can do a job like that. So that could be, we can rotate them in that way and use them as we need to. The Jay and the Priss thing is really interesting because we're doing this almost as fans now. We're starting to think like Davis, which is that you have to get every good player into the team at the same time. And it doesn't have to be like that, really. So if we think of it, that why can't Prisk start in the 9 after 60, 70 minutes? If he's either got a couple of goals, we'll give him a rest. If it's not working, we can do something different. So we can put Jay in there and get him off. And then we can put, instead of crossing balls into Prisk, we can maybe go through the middle, get a number 10 on, get Dimmy on in the 10, get Roberts on in the 10, whoever. And then we can play through to Jay and play him off the shoulder, which is where he loves to play. They don't both need 90 minutes every week, right? Because we've got a squad. So why can't we actually go down the avenue of rotating those two? Maybe if they both want to be a 9, let them, because then the next game you might give Jay 60 minutes and then get Prisk on for half an hour. That could work, right? Do you both agree with that? Because we're trying to fit everybody onto the pitch all the time, the best players. But Jay on the left is pointless. It's not working. Anybody can see that. Pake in the 10, not working. There's some things that need to be changed. So, I just wanted to say that because I think that he could better use them in terms of rotation. So that could be an avenue he goes down. Whether he will or not, I don't know. But if I was a manager, which I'm definitely not, I might give that a go because they're both hungry for goals. They're both hungry for playing in the 9. So let them both have a go, you know? The criticism, Jordan touched on the criticism with these players. Everyone out there needs to understand that if Jordan's been a Beadle hater in the past, if I've been a bag of shit hater, Bright Side Samuel, it's because they've deserved it.
Mhm.
That's why, okay? It's not that we hate them as people. It's just that their performances haven't been good enough or anywhere near the level that they're expected to be. So I remember that Bright Side Samuel had a very good game against Ipswich on the first day of last season, and then he fucking fell apart. So it's the first game of this season. So what could say that would happen again? We don't know. But anytime that's happened, whether it's Cochrane, whether it's Iwata, whether it's Paik, whoever, we will all praise them if they're due it, and we'll all criticize them if they're due it. And that's what this podcast is about. We don't sit on the fence. We're either that side or that side, depending on what week it is. Same with Davis. I gave him so much shit last year, but today I've actually said, do you know what, Davis? Apart from maybe your late subs, you did a good away performance. You set them up okay, and we came away with, instead of putting Roberts on, you put Laird on just to shore up that defence of that point. Because obviously at that point in the 85th minute, he's probably thinking, we can't win it, but don't lose it. So I'm going to put Laird on instead of Roberts. So he explained that, and I did understand that decision to almost make it a back five. But yeah, so I just wanted to say them to 2 or 3 points. But I think I don't know what you think, Jamie, but what do you think about the Jay and the Priss thing that I've said, Jay? Because I'm interested to get your thoughts on that.
The issue is I love them both, and the issue is in an ideal world I want them both starting up front together, because I think that big and little mixture works. I think if you play Jay in that false 10 that we've done before, where he basically is up front but comes back a little bit, I could do. I said it on the Boy in Blues phone in. For me, Jay is a central player. His best work is in the middle of the fucking park, box, anywhere along that centre line. Don't put him out wide, because you're making him look foolish, and he's trying to do stuff and he's trying to graft for the team, and that's all well and good. But you get the best Jay when he's got that freedom in the 10 or the 9, anywhere central where you just go on, son, you do you. And that instinctive striker's finish that we're missing from him.
But if Davis is gonna, which we know he does, is stick by his guns, and he plays that one striker, that 1-9, that could be the resolution, right? Because if the big resolution is that he plays both and up top and plays maybe 4-4-2, whatever. But I don't think he's going to do that. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't think. But I think at some point he's got to also acknowledge that Jay isn't working out on the left. All three of us love Stansfield. We all love Stano here, but it's just not working on the left. Like, what more do you want us to say? Like, we will support the guy because you saw it in person, we saw it on the TV. That man ran his ass off again, and he did everything for that team, and he's picking up scraps. And I mean, not only are you putting him out in the left, you then put in Paik as the guy who's trying to give him the fucking ball. Are you joking? Like, the poor fucker's got nothing to go off.
He just looks miserable. I think it's the biggest thing about it. When you watch his kind of demeanour, he just looks like, on BBC West Midlands, Jordan mentioned it earlier, he was interviewed as well, and he said, I'll play wherever I'm told to, because he's a good kid. He wants to do well for the team, and he'll play wherever he's told. He's not going to pop off at the manager because he plays him somewhere he doesn't want to. But also, you can tell behind that, he knows he's a 9. He said, I know what my preferred position is, but I'll play where the gaffer wants me to. That tells you everything you need to know, right, Jord?
Yeah, so that's what I was just about to touch on when you said it. Then he's play where I'm told to. It's not where I'll play where I'm happy to play. It's not play where I want to play. It's play where I'm told to. And that's the thing. He's at the minute he's not coming out and going like, yeah, this is my position. I can play very well here. It was just like, I'll play there if I have to. You know what I mean? He's very much like the kid who just wants to be picked. He wants to be. He said before he wants to prove to this club that he can be like his dad was at Exeter. He wants to be a legend here. So that means that he's going to go out and do what he can to be that. But at the minute, all it's bringing is more negatives than positives, which is a shame for the lad, because we've said before, if you actually build around him and Prisk, then you're actually onto a winning formula, I'd say. And I agree with what you said about not starting the 2. An honourable kind of little mention in that would be Vasquez maybe holding up in the 10, flicking balls over to Jay. Yeah. A little bit of little and large in there. It's, I do just want to touch on Vasquez in the Sheffield game as well. I felt so sorry for the lad. He come on and genuinely, like, how he's not left with more holes in his shirt than fucking some of the players have in their socks, because I don't even think Duke ever got held that much, but every time I watched it, they just had his shirt in Tavers. So it was.
He looked so angry though, didn't he? He looked
He did,
fucking
but
fuming.
you can tell he's still like he's sussing out what the league's about, and I think that's the kind of the thing. That's the kind of game where Vasquez, like you rightfully said, Max, probably needed 10 minutes earlier to suss out what the league's about and go, right, okay, you fuck out. I've got your number. You're getting clattered. You're having an elbow on a run through. You're having this. You're having, because you could see he was like he was boiling. He was a boiling bag of piss. You know what I mean? You could see him getting angrier and angrier. And at one point, Sky zoomed in on his face, and he looked like he had a black eye, and he just like kind of stared at the camera. It was like, you know, that photo that they've got a Bigfoot walking through the woods. That was how Vasquez looked when they panned to him, because he just looked like so fucking wound up. And I was like, if that hadn't have been 5-10 minute cameo, you'd have probably seen a fight break out because of the way he was being manhandled. And I like that because it shows that he's physical.
But some fans might want to write him off even after that, because, you know, when they come on and they, you know, he came on and missed his penalty against Barcelona, he didn't do a lot, and then everyone was like, oh god, here we go again. And then against Sheffield, he's come on for 10 minutes, maybe 10, 15, whatever it was, and he hasn't done a lot apart from had his shirt pulled by 3 players at one point. I think I said to you boys, 3 players around him at once. But don't write him off, because Prisk was in that same situation. He's had 6 months. You've given Prisk 6 months, and he's a different player already. He understands the league. So just give Vasquez a little bit of time, I think, to bed in.
Yeah. I think the only point I have disagreed with everything you've both said, and it was the point with Laird coming on at right wing. I seen it on Twitter, X, and I think Jay, I think you've said something similar this week. When you're playing the games where you're going against a low block and you're trying to break down bit by bit in the game, and you're chasing, you're 1-0 up and you're just trying to hold on to that lead. They're the games you put Laird on at right wing. When you're 0-0 with Sheffield United and they're there for the taking, and Vicente glaringly missed the opportunity to put us 1-0 in the lead. That to me is where you go, right, Patty Robs, go and do your thing, run at them, scare the living shit out of them, because their left back that was marking Vicente had got a couple of knocks during the game. I'd have just been like, right, shit house it, run at them, go, do it. But instead we did that whole kind of, oh, we've got to defend what we're having here. We need this point to go away.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of defending the point, so you know you get your season off to a good start of having a point on the road. But I think the more kind of, it's just the negative mindset I think you have as a Blues fan. You want to see us go for the win, don't you? There, you can see the game is ready to be took by the scruff of the neck either way. And to me, Laird is the wrong choice to take it by the scruff of the neck. You've literally just gone, I'm happy with a point. But Roberts would have been a statement of intent of what you were going out to do.
I get that. I get that. I just wanted to say, sorry on that. I can see that point 100%. But I think that all the fans that were there and the ones that were watching wanted that to happen, because they were like, go on, you know, they're there for the taking. Go and get it. Go and nick a 1-0 in the 92nd minute. I get that. But you have to, and you just said it, you have to think from Davis's perspective, is that he was so bad last year and we made so many mistakes. Think about QPR, where we got 1-1 and then we actually tried to push forward again quickly and get another one, and we got hit on the counter-attack and lost 2-1 at QPR within 2 minutes of the added time. And that was an absolute sucker punch. So I just think Davis's mind was, we're away, we were shit last year, I don't want the fans on my back. If I put too many attackers on here and we go for it and we get hit on the counter, and I'm going to get absolute pelters if I throw this 0-0 away. So I think both sides. I think fans, you're right, Jordan. I'm probably the same. Go for it. I want to go and win because it's there. But Davis's sole mind is probably, let's just go. Let's just run back to Birmingham with this point.
And I'm more than happy as a fan to take that point. Like you said, it is a tough ground to go to, and people will go, oh, you know, Sheffield United are in the mud, and I think I said it on the Boyne Blues live the other night. They're in the mud. We could go and get a 2-3-0. But the one thing that never goes through your head is Sheffield United are very much like us in a way of, no matter what's going on, their home is their fortress. They will They will play for everything at their home ground. They
Mm-hmm.
could go away and be an absolute shocking team all season.
Mm-hmm.
They could be us last season, but their home ground is where they will hope to pick up points. And the thing is I'm very, very happy. But what I don't want to see is the lesser games where their teams are there to be taken for, where we know we can get a result. I don't want to see that same pattern evolving. Just, let's take a point back and be safe. If it's a game where we know we can sit back and defend, we've got 10 minutes to go, just go all out for it. You know what I mean? I don't, like I said, for the first away game of the season, league game, I'm happy to take the point 100%. I get where Davies is coming from, but I think as a fan, you're kind of sitting there and going, just don't let that become a trend. Let's make sure that in the games where, a West Brom where their fans will leave in the 80th minute and they're not kind of going to be like Sheffield United where they're supporting their team for 90. Go and press for the win. Yeah,
but then would you commend him then for 75 minutes of the game? He tried to go for it.
Yeah, no, this is what I mean. So it's kind of, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place as a manager, aren't you? And this is what I mean. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being miserable. I'm not criticising a point away at Sheffield United at all. And please don't think that that's what I'm trying to do here. What I'm saying is as performances go, I'm very, very happy with the fact that we've gone there. We've played really kind of, it was kind of subpar as terms of football goes. It wasn't one for the neutrals, let's say.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No.
As a football fan, I'm happy to sit there and watch my team really, really play a game of football and try and improve on what we made mistakes with last season. But like I said, what worries me is that it becomes a trend of what happened last season where we go 1-0 up and he puts 6 players in defence. And, I don't want to go to every away game and it be 0-0 in the 80th minute and just go, right, okay, we'll take a point. No, football's about wins. You need to go and get them wins. So that's it's like I said, it's more of a rant of I don't want to see it happening every week. I'm happy with the hard games, but if it's Preston North End away, just 80th minute, put Patrick Roberts on, put an attacking lineup on that's going to go and get you a goal.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the worst teams away, just go for it. Yeah, I think you're right. That's what you'd see it as. But I think the fact that last year away from home, we barely got past the halfway line for 90 minutes makes me feel better that, yes, for the neutrals, it wasn't one, but we could see what he was trying to do for 70, 75 minutes, which is much more positive. Just another day, you win that 1 or 2-0 because you get a flick in from across, it probably could have happened. But yeah, I think the lesser teams, I think we look good. We look like we can go and score some goals away from home. I do think.
Yeah, I mean, my point I'll put on this and my fear is I get why you brought Laird on. My fear is when you're playing away, so you imagine you're a Sheffield fan in that home and you've seen that you've brought your number 2 on right wing. As a home crowd, then you can gear up a bit and go, well, they're fucking settling for a point, so attack them, go for it, and you're jeering the fans to push them.
You're right, because they did. The crowd, the last 5 minutes, you're right there, because the crowd suddenly, I mean, the home crowd was fucking, I know ours is pretty bad sometimes, but Jesus Christ, terrible. They just suddenly out of nowhere for the last 5, 6, 7 minutes, they woke up and they were like, there was a big roar. You're right, because they tried to go for it at the end.
Which is why I think Jord's saying if you bring a Pat Roberts on there, that left back knows he can't fucking go forward. Whereas in his head, he's like, well, it's Laird. Like, okay, it's a right back.
Like I said, that's my point. Is you are as a manager at any level, you're in a rock and a hard place there because you either come away very happy with a point or you go away like kind of ruin a point. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing is we've all, including Davis, will walk away happy with that point. And any other day, we kind of that's the point I was getting to is I don't want to go away ruin points. I want to kind of go away happy and being like, oh, they were the ones that last season we were losing 3-4-0 in. Now we're stealing a 0-0 or we're getting a 1-1 out of it. And that's another point I do want to just kind of chuck on the end before we pivot over is the fact that it looks like a team that if something was to happen, so if we do go a goal down, this isn't a team that's going to drop their heads again.
Yeah, I agree.
That from everything that Sheffield United did chuck at us, and even when we didn't get the penalty shout, say, it was heads back on, straight back into the fucking game. Let's go again. And you seen the clear message when the penalty wasn't given. I think it was Neumann and Solis. They were tapping at their heads and telling people, head on, it doesn't matter, we go again. And I think that's the mentality that's going to come in. I don't know if this has been brought in by Scott Fry or not. Is the mentality is that we will be able to get something out of this game if we just keep applying ourselves in the correct way.
Yeah, and ultimately, a lot of things to be annoyed about, a lot of things to be happy about. It's a good point. We didn't lose. We lost there, 3-0 last season. So, and I know we went out 10 men early, but progression, it's something. So we're happy. Beat Bristol on Saturday, 4 points, 2 games. Who can complain?
It's what happens when Jack Robinson's not in your team.
Wasn't that when Tommy Dore decided to scissor someone like 3 minutes in?
Yeah.
My next point I want to bring is just, and Jord, I think you've already touched on this a little bit, but what the fuck has Kanya got to do to get a game? Like, even a minute, like, he didn't even get a fucking second. And the reason I looked at my phone is we only used 4 subs as well. So there was a sub opportunity for one more person to come on that pitch. And he didn't even go, you know what? Yeah, bring Kanya on. Like, just put Vasquez up front at that point for the last 5 and just put Kanya on in the 10 and see what he can do if you're going to.
I think we got I got into it with someone on Boy and Blues Live the other night, in the comments, and they said that he's not strong enough this league. He doesn't offer us anything, but we don't know because he hasn't been able to show us. And I mean, pre-season, what was the point in him playing every pre-season game in that 10 for just to? I know he had a knock against Barcelona, but it was just like, Golden Boy's back. Let's go. You're going in the team somewhere. It just feels like a kick in the teeth for him as well as the fans that I want to see what he can do. I know a lot of people are saying, he's a waste of time. He's not strong enough. He hasn't got the ability. His shit is this, is that. It doesn't affect a game. But you can't say that. As much as I can't say he's the world's best footballer against Northampton, you can't say that we don't know that he doesn't offer anything to the team. Because we don't know. When he has come on, he hasn't done anything wrong. But again, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I think the thing is I've got to come to terms with it, and it'll be a sad day the day it happens. And I think I might go live on TikTok just crying for 3 hours when it happens. But I've got a funny feeling we see the end of Kanya before the window closes,
which will be sad.
Yeah, because you can almost guarantee he's going to go somewhere. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking Farmers League. He's going to go somewhere and tear it up. And I just feel sorry for him because he was brought here with a lot of hype around him across Europe. And, we're seeing it with Patrick Roberts as well. Now, I know that there's murmurs of stuff going on behind the scenes. And I know that that's been rubbished by his brother and stuff. But there's obviously something in these players not playing, whether that's Davis has got some sort of ego or whether he just doesn't think they're good enough. But if that's the case, why are they here? If Craig Gardner brought them in, then get rid. You did it with everyone else. You did it with Williamson. You did it with everyone else that didn't fit your team and your roles. So why keep them around? Just let them go. Let them go and flourish elsewhere.
Here's my glaring issue with the number 10 role, and this is one of the last things I'll say. This is the bench from Saturday. These following 5 people: Damari Gray, Bird, Vasquez, Roberts, Fujimoto. Right? Damari Gray's won the Premier League and can play in the 10 very comfortably, as we've seen many times. Bird, accomplished centre mid, can play in the 10, prefers to play in the 10 as well. Unbelievable on the ball, as we all saw. Vasquez played 10 in the fucking La Liga last season, and fans loved him. Shithouse. Roberts. How can Roberts not play the 10? Roberts is an incredible footballer. Of course he can play the 10. And Fujimoto. Yet you've ignored all 5 of them fucking people and gone, yeah, it's fine, Pate. You can play there, even though he honestly, I'm telling you now, Pate is a teacher's pet, and every other footballer will fucking hate him in that club. And the reason being is when they bring the passing stats out every week, they'll go, Pate, you didn't miss a pass this week. Well done, mate. Yeah, of course you didn't, because you're passing fucking 2 yards back to your centre mid, you dick.
Or you're not making a pass. He's probably got 5 pass completions out of 5 because that's all he has to make.
There was one point, and you both would have saw this on Saturday, where John Solis has put the ball into him in a good opportunity. He's instantly paid it back to Solis with 3 people on him, and Solis has lost the ball. I'm like, you prick. Like, he's on the edge of the box, and he just, without even looking, he just went straight back to him. I was like, you fucking dick.
Also,
like,
the corner routines were very like training ground. You could tell they've been ironed out. And then the one of them just comes back to him on the edge of the area and it goes rose ed. And I was like, that's not been put on the training ground. And I can guarantee you've probably thought about this and done it in training where you've gone across the keeper, buried it top corner, put a bit of swaz into that top bins. But unfortunately, you're not playing against your mates in bibs now. You're playing against 11 professional footballers. You cannot be hitting that type of shot miles over the crossbar. I don't accept it from Iwata when he does it. You know, I've said in the past, and we can pull up previous clips of last year where I said, can we stop shouting shoot every time Iwata gets the ball? Because we know he can, but he's not always. You know,
he did it. He did it.
He did it,
and
he
had a shot over the bar.
Exactly, he did exactly the same as Pakes. So stop shouting shoot. The bloke, as I said earlier, he's looking miles off it. I mean, it's the last thing I want him doing is shooting. I'd rather him keep hold of the ball and just get us into an attacking position. It does it like I'm all for players having a shot if it's open, but both of those opportunities, Pakes and Iwata's, were not open opportunities. They were pop shots that were never going anywhere. I think Solis did one against Sheffield Wednesday that sticks in my head last season on his debut. And I literally, at the time, my wife was with me and I turned to her and I was like, he better not do that all season because I'll get fed up of him quick. And after that, I don't think he ever took, I think he's took like 3 shots in the whole time he's been in the Blues, in a blue shirt, because I think that must live in his head as much as mine. But Iwata and Pake, it's like they've had the couple that they've had and their eyes light up and they can see all of their little fans with the flag stand in the front cheering the names on. You know, it just literally, it's like, just stop. You know, that Michael Jordan meme, which is just like, stop, get some help. You know what I mean? Just chill out a bit, man. There's no need for them shots.
Leave the football for the football leaves you.
Yeah, basically. You're not Zidane, you're not Roberto Carlos. Just pack it in, lads. Just chill out.
So yeah, let's segue onto, because we're all there on Saturday. What are we thinking about Bristol at home then, boys? I think we should absolutely smash these silly. I really want to just get the season going at St Andrews, and I'm not saying we're going to dominate 4-0, but just get a win. Give me a 2-0 if you're going to. I trust this back line for the first time in about 7 years. I trust that we don't concede many now.
All I will say is, James, I'm going to be quick on this one. I want to hear Max's thoughts, but last season we were this confident going into games like this. Stoke was the one that sits in my memory. I don't give predictions for games like this anymore because on paper, you 4-0 this. What happens on the day? We lose 2-0 and we have 3 men sent off. You know, I like, if you're giving me West Brom and Wolves at home, I'll give you a 4-0 prediction today. If you're giving me Bristol and Portsmouth at home, I don't know where the fuck to go because I'll tell you what, Sheffield United isn't a big show of how much we've adapted to this league. Bristol at home is where we've adapted to this league. If Davies has set it up well enough that we can keep our place a fortress and we can keep that carpet-looking pitch clean and play out from the back and get it zipping around, great, superb. But this will be the biggest test to the opening of the season. Forget Sheffield United, forget anyone else before them. This is such a big test because Bristol are coming here as a team that look a bit disjointed. And yes, they've got to lie, but that's the kind of player that will go and smash 2 in against us when we're not on our game. Let's really kind of rein it in here and let's hope this is where we see Davies come into his own.
You just hope that they just hopefully capitulate again, really. I mean, they're going to see Scott Toynbee's suitcase at St Andrews, so their heads are going to fall off straight away, aren't they? So we hope. Please sign. Please get signed.
Like, I will say one last thing before I pass over to you, Max. As a big Pie Face fan and someone who quite often last season did keep an eye on Plymouth scores because it's just one of them things that you do. I watch Pie Face every weekend, and it was just a kind of, how did Plymouth get on? Just jokingly looking. Laurent Talai is not one to fucking flash by. He's a good footballer, and he's going to be your one to watch on Saturday. He's a very, very good footballer.
Yeah. I think that Jordan has got it bang on. You've got no form in this league still. One game played, that's it. If you were to go and ask the Wolverhampton Wanderers fans on Friday what they thought the score was going to be, I can fucking guarantee you that every single one of them would have said 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Doesn't pan out like that, does it, boys? It never does. And Wolves should have lost that game in the end, so they got very lucky. The Championship is a crazy league, and it doesn't work out like that, especially with no form. You just don't know. You can't predict it. I think, Jamie, you're also correct in that and Jordan, if Davis can set us up in the way he wants to and put those players in the right places and go from the off and come out the traps, and not just do it for 10 minutes, but do it for 30 and 40 and keep going and pushing. And, for 1-0 up at half time, come out in the second half and get another one quickly and really put them to the sword. It can happen. But also, like Jordan said, we could be 2-0 down in 10 minutes and everyone's looking around going, what the fuck's going on? This isn't the script. This isn't how it's meant to go. So we don't know. But if everybody has the right head on them and applies himself in the right way, if that defence can do a replication of that game against Sheffield United, I agree with you, Jamie. There's not a lot getting past them. Beadle's confidence is up at the moment. So that's good because he's come into St Andrews for the first time this year after a good performance at Swansea and a good performance at Sheffield United. He's coming back to his home fans, 29,000 fans, and they will be singing his name just like we were at Sheffield United. So I will say it was quite funny when he did. I think he hit one ball out of play, which bounced over someone's head and went out for a throw. I don't think that was his fault because I don't think the player challenged for it properly. But I was one of 2,800 people that still went, Beadle. Everyone had been singing it, but I still shouted his name. So, you got to give him something. But he'll be confident. I'm neither confident or not confident. I don't know. I'm just like Jordan. The Championship is absolutely crazy. We could go and beat these 5-0 on Saturday. It's one of them. You could, or you could lose 2-1. So I don't know, James. I think we need to win because I think it's good for the points for the board. I think 4 out of 6, everybody's happy if we do that going into the third game of the season. Everyone's quite content. If we were to lose at home on Saturday, God forbid, the Davis murmurs start coming back in straight away.
That's the issue, isn't it? We need to just see what we do. I mean, I'm confident in a 2-0 win, but obviously I'm always Mr. Optimistic, which is ironic when this is a raw, unfiltered, angry podcast. But I am. I've never gone on a podcast and said we're going to lose a game. Like, I don't know why. I just can't say it. I can't. I'm just like that. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. But I expect, as we did a lot last season, I want to see us just fly out the traps and try and get an early goal. And I want to see that again. I want to see maybe Jay get a goal. I want to see Prisk open his account. I don't want to see number 8 Pate Sung-ho anywhere near the fucking box in an attack.
But this will be Jordan said it in terms of we're set up to be kind of different to what we were last year. We need to score early and then we need to keep going and score again and score again. And do not lay off the pressure because last year's Birmingham, the amount of 1-1 draws that Jamie's head's on Mars about, that when we go 1-0 up, we just go defensive and play Davis ball, and it was crap, and invite on the pressure from the opposition, let them back into the game, and they didn't deserve it. And Zonzi will give me nightmares for years, it really will, and an under-18 Stoke team. So, you've got to go for the jugular. So if you get one and Bristol's heads drop after 5 minutes, they're like, oh, fucking hell, we're in for a rough afternoon here. You've got 28,000 fans screaming at you. They're already 1-0 up. And Clara's got Talaj in his back pocket already. You go and get a second, go and get a third. That's what I want to see, and that'll be the tell if Davis has changed. I really do think that if Davis has changed his mentality, you'll see it on Saturday. If not, who knows?
I think a big thing as well will be to see if he uses the depth that we're talking about in the squad to his advantage. Does he go, right, we've got St Andrews crowd on our backs. They're going to carry us through the game. But in that terms, instead of playing Sheffield United, we're playing a team that we could go out and beat on our day. So this is where do we see Pate drop back into the midfield and Iwata bomb from the squad and play one of those 5 in the 10? Or does Stano drop back into the 10 and Dimmy get a start out on the left? Or, this is where now your cards are all out now, because you literally, you've got them so close to your chest, no one knows what's coming next. This is your chance now to play the hand and kind of go, I can't tell I'm a betting man, I'm using all my, there was me moaning about Coral, I'm using all betting references, but this is where you kind of look at it now and you go, right, no one really knows what we can do here. So they've seen what we did against Sheffield United. They've seen what we did against Swansea. Now let's change 2 or 3 players from that squad and rotate, because we've got strength in numbers. Okay, yes, a couple of us have moaned that it's still not as good of a depth as what we think we need, but we have still got a very strong bench. When I looked at that Sheffield United bench, can we use that to our advantage on Saturday? Can we use 1 or 2 more of those from the off and just go, right, let's go and get this fucking game won early on, put it to bed. Like you both just said then, and I've stated, I don't want to see us sit back. If we can go and take this game by the scruff of the necks, we did it last season, Millwall being an obvious one that sticks out in my memory. It wasn't sit back and defend. It was, right, you've got 1, go and get another 3 more now. We could have had another 4 or 5 in that game if we'd have been even more clinical. So this is the kind of setup we need at Bristol. It needs to be an early atmosphere as well. 12:30 kickoff. It's on TV. I know that the ticket sales have been a bit poor from what I've seen, but we as fans need to be backing them from the fucking off. I mean, I know you boys and myself are going to be in the car park at 10 a.m. And anyone who's watching this, please come up, tell us whether you love us, hate us, or whether you want to have a fight in the car park, because it's, there's one of each of us, we can all handle it. But no, honestly, 10 a.m, we'll all be there having a drink. Come and find us. Let's get the atmosphere built up. We're all in different sections in the ground. I'm sure we'll all have a different view of what it's like to be back at St Andrews and when we're all fucking ready for it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, Bristol, and then 3 days later, obviously Brentford. And that's where I'm going to find this really interesting, because it's going to be a case of, is he going to rest people for a Carabao Cup against the Premier League team? Which might piss me off a little bit if he does.
I don't think so.
It also might be, you see the people who are not getting game time actually get some fucking game time. You might see Pat Roberts. You might see, can you get a start in them games?
This is the only thing that worries me is with Brentford is it's a free shot game. We can go into it and we can do what we did against Leeds and Newcastle and put on a show and a spectacle, or we can do what we did against Fulham and we can put kids out and just get absolutely smacked around for 90 minutes. It depends on really how seriously he takes Carabao Cup. Me personally, especially because we've already won it in the past, it's the competition I'd be more serious about over the FA Cup, because the FA Cup's a long old trudge and you never know where it's going to go. Carabao Cup can be quite straightforward if you just take some of the big teams out early.
And there's no extra time in it as well, so you literally just straight into penos.
Yeah,
I think both teams will be depleted or changed quite a lot on that Brentford game. I think both teams will be. You'll see very different 11s for both teams. I think that's my prediction for it.
See, I think opposite. I think Brentford will put out a very strong team, because this is the start of their season, really, isn't it? So this is a chance. This is basically for them. This will be like a glorified pre-season game. This will be their chance to really get up and running. Same as how we did at Swansea. They will use that as a catalyst to launch their season on. And I don't think you see a weak team from Brentford. I think they're the kind of club where they don't really side weakened teams. I think they will come with a game plan of, right, let's attack this like our final pre-season game. Let's go into the Premier League strong. Let's start off how we mean to go on. And that's why I want Blues to do what we do best. And I want us to really up the ante for that game.
Well, welcome to Lawlor's Law, where we have different opinions, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm going to kick you out of the group now because you disagree with me. Oh no, we're not that page. Sorry, my bad. Who said that? I suppose Beanie, he was melatonin max last week and he got pissed off within 3 minutes. Mad Max. Hit us.
Yes. So I have really, really missed the EFL officiating. I don't know about you boys. Oh my God. How nice was it to start playing against 14 men again from the off against Sheffield United? It was so fucking great, honestly. Terrible, inconsistent, unfair, taking the physicality out of the game. The biggest fucking problem that I have with EFL officiating is the inconsistency, but it's how soft they all are. It is so soft. The double standards are ridiculous. The word jockey has been in football for hundreds of years, 150 years, right? You jockey a player, you're physical, you battle for the ball. If you kick somebody in the leg, it is a foul, right? If you stand on their foot, it is also a foul. If you drag them back, it is also a foul. If you've got your hand on them and you're both jockeying each other and they decide to fall down like they've been assassinated by a fucking rifle, it is not a foul. Okay? To every EFL official out there, it is not a foul. You put your hand on someone and they drop down, it doesn't have to be a foul. Okay? If they push them over, fine. But if it's just jockeying, please let the play carry on. I'm pretty sure that only once the referee let it play on, and that was in our favour, but it was only once. But for the rest of the game, especially in the first half, the officiating was crap. I had to shout to the linesman on the near side by me that there's 2 fucking teams in this game, Lino. There's 2 teams. He heard me, but he didn't really acknowledge me. But he definitely heard me because I was close enough. Second half was better. I think somebody must have had a word with them at half time and said, "Look, from Birmingham side, fucking even it up, lads, because this is bollocks." But yeah, so inconsistent. There was a throw in near my touchline in that away end where the referee made us go right back to where it went out of play, right by the corner flag, and he was like, "No, you've got to go back to the corner flag. That's where the ball went out." I ain't joking you. 5 minutes later, Sheffield had a throw in. He's just waltzing as far up towards the halfway line as he wants to go, and then throws it back into play. The inconsistency is crap. I messaged Tommy Kelsall on that day, and I said to him, "Same shit, different season," because it is exactly that, and we're probably going to see it all year. But if anybody from the EFL is watching this, which they're probably not, sort your fucking selves out, because I can't bear this soft bollocks that we are watching. Just let the game play. You want to stop time wasting. This is why you're introducing the goalkeeper rules when they go down. This is why you're introducing the substitution change of rules as well. Get off in 10 seconds, okay? You're not helping the situation either by constantly stopping the play for these bullshit soft fouls. Help us out as fans by letting the game flow, and we'll get better football. So from me signing off this week, fuck the EFL, fuck the officials, and I can't wait to see you all again on Saturday.
Oh, lovely. I'd say there was one thing that fucked me off as well. I remember, Jord, you would have seen this and Max would have seen this. There was a point where we got given a free kick. We've stopped the ball still, as you meant to. We've took a quick free kick, pinged it over the top. It's either Cochrane or Stansfield is open on that left. I'm talking they've got space. Ref stops it and brings it back. And I'm like, They've done that all game. He's taking it quick. What the fuck are you doing? Like, oh, they're in a good... Nah, that's fucking bullshit, but... Don't we love the championship? And also, Wolves fans, go fuck yourself singing VAR, you bunch of fucking divs. Hear them when they went 1-0 up, weren't they? Or they scored, they started singing VAR, the fucking idiots. All right, 12-toed twats. New segment, but, well, new picture that you'll all see, but there is... Turning Jord. Go on, Judge Jord, tell us what your feelings are.
So my feelings is that I just want to kind of touch on kind of transfer policy at the minute, and my big fucking gripe, and it's a big fucking gripe, is that yes, we went down to League One and we spent, but £22 million on a Championship fucking player, West Ham, is a fucking joke. That is ridiculous. Now, I might sound like a jealous little bitch here, but you've signed a Celtic player. It's not even like you've gone out and signed some lad, some fucking next lad world beater from Corinthians or Benfica or something, or Sporting. You've gone and signed someone from Celtic that even Celtic fans were like, profit, sound, it's okay. And it covers all bases. It's not just, the negatives, it's the positives as well. Blues kind of going after championship names again. Max Bird is exactly what we said we wanted all last season. And I think you boys will agree. We said we wanted championship quality. Mm-hmm. And what have we signed? Someone who has been across the championship at a very decent level. I'm not going to say outstanding because of his injury problems and he's never really lit the world alight. But that's what we wanted. We wanted championship stability. Now, the one thing I'm not going to stand, and we're going from fucking happy to sad to back down to happy here, and, you really want to see the insight of how my brain works. If we sign Ben Brereton Diaz, get me a fucking pistol because I'm going to put myself down like a fucking injured horse. That when I say championship quality, that isn't quality. That's championship dross. I don't want him. The same as when we got linked with Schmodics. I don't want him. I don't want Ben Brereton Diaz. You're from fucking Stoke, not fucking Cuba or wherever else you fucking claim to be from, you prick. Your name's Ben Brereton. It's not fucking Diaz, you fucking knobhead. I don't want him at the club. I don't, it's, I banged on last season about Wrexham doing really good stuff with like Kiefer Moore and likes of that kind of player. That's not a fucking good championship signing, is Ben Brereton Diaz. He's bang average at best. Had we have gone and got Alex Mowat, which Derby I personally think have got a really good deal with there. Someone like that is a good championship quality signing. Not Ben Brereton Diaz, not in the way that we're looking to build and play football. It makes no sense. It's kind of like last season. You sign all these magnificent players last season, and then you had to go, oh, well, there's Jack Robinson as well. Previous years, oh, here we are. We're going to smash League One up. Here's Jay Stansfield. Here's every player you can imagine. We've signed some shit house from Iceland called before Willem Williamson. How great is all of this? Here's Grant Hanley. I don't want that sort of. That is all that Ben Brereton Diaz would be to me. He is literally Lyndon Dykes, just not as good.
I can't wait till midnight at the end of deadline day when Blues tweet saying "Don't go to bed yet," and it's Ben Brereton Diaz. I'll just hear Jordan like Ollie Burke.
I think you said it perfectly the other day, James. You've got the don't go to bed yet, Blue Noses, which in one is Stansfield, and for two is Ollie Burke. And I know which side Ben Brereton Diaz lands on, and it definitely isn't Jay fucking Stansfield. It's just maybe 15 years ago I'd have been a bit more like, oh, what, we'll have a look at that. But it feels like you're just signing Tom Ince. That's the kind of player he is. It's nothing exciting. I've seen people on like social media going, oh, well, we've not seen him kick a ball yet. I fucking have. I've seen him too many times. And yeah, no, you're all right, thanks. I'd rather have had fucking Connor Chaplin. And that's saying something because I hated that midget.
in before Ben Brereton Diaz has the game of his life against Wolves, wins us the game 2-0, and Jordan has to come on and be like, oh.
No, the thing is, though, is these sort of players, it is a Lyndon Dykes situation, isn't it? They will pop up, they will get you the odd goal, they'll get you a contribution in a game when you really need it. That's all well and good. But if, I'm not saying the rumours are true, but if the rumours are true that Patrick Roberts is going to Blackburn on loan, replacing him with Ben Brereton Diaz is not the way you win football fucking games, is it? You know what I mean? If you're going to get rid of Patrick Roberts, go and splash all the money that you can, even if it's a loan. Go and get Ibrahim Osman. Go and sign fucking Cleary from Barnsley, even though I think he's going Bristol City anyway. Go the exact one we said at the start of the show. Go and get Scott Twine, not Ben Brereton Diaz. I don't want him. I'm not interested. I'd rather have another Japanese lad that no one really sees anything of for another 9 months than have Ben Brereton Diaz. You know what, right? This is what happens when James Beadle puts in good performances. I have to put my hate elsewhere, and it's on a player that we don't even know if we're even fucking getting.
Anyone got Yokoyama's number on speed dial or?
Honestly, go and get Emil Hansen back. I'll take Carlos Costly over Ben Brereton Diaz. At least he was a real South American.
Oh fucking! I've missed this. I've missed Jordan. I suppose it's my turn, isn't it? Laying down the law.
Let's go.
So my one's about transfers as well, actually, and this is going to be one of them ones where, you know, the meme in the Disney film where they've all got the knives up against the guy's throat and it's just in the corner. It's going to be me. Stop talking about Jordan fucking James. Just stop. Leave it alone. He is gone. He's got 2 relegations and he's got injuries. He's fucking gone. Stop licking his arsehole. We don't want him back. He won't fit in the squad. He left when we got relegated. It was not for finances. He didn't want to be in League One. Fuck him. You're not bigger than the club. Stop talking about Jordan fucking James. Every time I log online, every time I see his name, fuck off. No. That it's short and sweet from me, but fucking no. Stop.
Can we just make sure that gets clipped for TikTok, please?
Clip it, cop car park, 10 o'clock. Fucking come and talk to me in your Jordan James shirt. Fuck off.
No, but seriously though,
doesn't get game time for Wales. Fuck off, man.
I get where you're coming from because it feels like the whole going backwards. You might as well just go, oh, well, Joe Bellingham isn't playing much for Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, there's a fucking reason. No, I'm all right.
Scott Hogan's not got a club. He was our top goal scorer for 3 years. Fuck off.
Jordan James did okay at Leicester last season. And when he left, I remember every fan going, oh, well, it won't be a big miss. It's money that we've got. Now, all of a sudden, he's like the second coming of Christ. What? What does he offer? And I'm hearing all these clubs that are after him, and I'm like, that's fine. It doesn't. I know we're moaning about Paking Iwata here, but like, I don't really want to go back and give Rennes all the money back. Give us the sell-on clause money instead. We've made profit from him. Let's make even more now by getting that sell-on clause. If not, we're just handing him money back that we've had off him.
Oh, it's not hard to be a standout player in a Leicester team that end up getting relegated because 24 of the 25-man squad are on the fucking beach for 9 months.
Honestly,
basically, yeah.
It's pissed me off for so long. I'm just sick of it.
Ricardo.
Hamza Chowdhury, fuck off. I don't want him.
Yeah, fuck him as well.
Don't want him.
Right. I felt good actually to get out of my system. It was good. I mean, I'm gonna go downstairs and Jeff's like, what are you screaming about? I'm like, fucking Jordan James. That's what I'm screaming about.
You okay, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Live my best
I think
life.
what Jamie's trying to say is, Jordan, have you got a wanker of the week this week?
Yeah, thank you.
Right, so I'm guessing it's return of the wanker of the week, isn't it, James?
Well, yeah, no, we had it for you. Obviously, Josh lovingly gave you wanker of the week for you last week as you requested. So yeah, but we got the OGs back now to do it.
Yeah, so big one this week, and it's more of a comical one than anybody who's pissed me off. And I'm actually trying to go back through my mind now, and I think he may be tied with Nathan Jones for the most ever wanker of the weeks. And it's a certain ex-Dirty Villa bastard, bald, midget, Scottish twat, Barry Bannon. You fucking absolute imbecile. How do you go around a goalkeeper?
Insert.
Yeah, please. Josh, if you're watching, please insert the clip. I'm going to give you a 5-second break here to do it.
Morris. Oh, Bannon is going to get there first ahead of the goalkeeper. Barry Bannon is in. Oh, he's missed it. Astonishing. The goal was gaping. A Sheffield Wednesday legend bearing down on that goal on his return to the club, and he's missed it.
Barry Bannon's miss is actually, it kind of made my whole weekend. As you lads have said at the start of the show, and I said, I've had a bit of a shit time recently. That genuinely was on my repeat videos on YouTube on Shorts for I think half an hour one night, till the point my wife just went, "Are you actually watching this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I fucking am." Literally, how good does it feel to watch that little midget embarrass himself? There was a reason why Millwall didn't want you. It's because you're shit, and Sheffield Wednesday's your level, and hopefully you retire at the end of the season crying.
Oh, don't we all hate Barry Bannon? All,
Can I-
all well and good till Charlton sign him in January and Jordan's got a double hatred.
Oh, imagine a Nathan Jones and Barry Bannon link up on my head, and then they go and welcoming back to the backroom staff Steve Evans. Fuck me, my head's rolling, mate.
Can I give an honorary ranker of the week?
Yeah, go.
Lee Hendry, commentary, Sky Sports.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck.
Why do we
You
only
are
ever get?
a prick?
Why do we only ever get Don Goodman or fucking Lee Hendry?
Oh, they both hate us, man. They both hate us.
Honestly, Lee Hendry, I swear. Oh, honestly, if there's ever like anyone, there's a couple, but if there was one that I could just get, you can just punch him in the face for free. Sound. Just fucking like the man can't say a nice word. Like he just can't say anything good about Blues. Like if anyone watched the pre-match with Sky, I think it was literally they were saying like, "What do you think of this game?" Everyone says Birmingham's going to win. He was like, "Nah, they're not going to be in the game." I'm just like, "You're a cunt." I'm just going to say you're a cunt. No.
Parental advisory. Put that in this week.
Here are the raw and filtered Birmingham City. I'm not the first one to drop it.
Even friends of mine that support the Villa said you weren't even that good of a fucking player anyway.
You shit, little rat.
But no, can I just put a little quick disclaimer out as well, boys, before we end. I just want to kind of segue this one out a little bit. I don't know if you boys don't touch your phones while you're on the pods. I know that you're very, very professional, and I'm a bit of a child, and my ADHD takes me away. While we've been doing it, there's been an announcement. Gary Gardner's officially retired from football. So I want to kind of say, like, thank you for your service. Fuck you for the goal against us when you played for them. But, thank you for your service. And, a very good footballer on your day.
Yeah, very good. But in that time where we didn't really have a lot going for us, we had a lot of free agents. He was that box-to-box midfielder that was driving us forward. I remember that 5-0 away at Luton where he scored that fucking screamer.
Even better, the free kick against West Brom.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
last game.
What a goal.
Yeah. He was at the Barca game with his kid or his kids.
He goes everywhere with Jude, doesn't he? He goes out to Madrid a lot. You see, if you follow him on Instagram, he does go out to Madrid a lot and has special treatment off Jude. The kids get like personalised shirts and stuff. But I think he was with Jude at that game because he put pictures up with him. But yeah, you see him down the Blues quite a lot. He's down there very regularly. I don't know if he's got a box or whether it's just a come and go sort of thing. Obviously, with his brother working there last year, he probably was there a lot. But I know he was still under contract. But hopefully we do see him down in St Andrews a lot more now, because as much as when he played for them, same as his brother did, he was a prick. I think anyone will agree. When he come over and we seen that picture of them two in their blue shirts as a kid, he kind of just made your heart flutter a bit, because it was kind of like, fuck you lot. You know what I mean? I remember saying to a couple of the lads at the time, how does it feel? You fucking golden boy that you banged on about for years, that Inter Milan wanted him and he was going to be the next big thing, and he turned out to be a blue nose. You know what I mean? So he'd be. I know a lot of people will welcome him back down St Andrews with open arms.
Yeah, and to finish that, before we finish off tonight, Max Bird's coming kind of full circle with his little signing his little academy contract on that pitch from a long time ago, and then he's back with us. So that's really nice to see as well.
Beautiful, isn't it? Don't we love it? Right. Shall I sign us off, boys?
Yes, mate.
Guys, this has been Lawlor's Law. Please like, comment, subscribe, get the word out there. We'll be back next week. Keep right on.
Keep right on.